for a 2-1 loss this afternoon at Forest Green. What's your reaction after today?
We conceded 2 bad goals. I thought we were very competitive in the first half, looked like the better side, but in the second half the first goal changes the course of the game, and when we're pushing hard to try and get something out of the game, we concede a very, very sloppy second. So like I said, it's a learning opportunity for the players, and we're very disappointed with the result. Disappointed with the second half display to a certain degree, because when you're playing away like we have been doing, that first goal's really important, and we made a mess of like 2 or 3 phases of the play, which resulted in obviously them scoring. So I'm disappointed. The players are really disappointed, but we have to deal with it. We have to deal with facts, and the facts are we got beat today, and it's going to be it's going to be with the players for the best part of the weekend as we move into obviously next week to make sure that we recover and go again against Colchester.
The result today confirms that automatic promotion now can't happen.
Yeah.
But with a win or a draw on next Saturday at Colchester will confirm a place in the playoffs.
Yeah, but again, we have to make sure that we take care of business. And again, the game, it brings out different emotions in you as a player on the pitch. But we have to be responsible, and the players have to be responsible for those decisions that they make that alter the course of the game. There's a ripple effect, a negative ripple effect today. We have to make sure we turn that negativity into a positive one. We'll start with Kieran Morris's goal as we move on into the next game. But we huffed and puffed, and we left ourselves exposed. I'm very, very disappointed with the manner of both goals.
Was it disappointing after the first half display, which showed a lot of encouraging signs to concede a goal so early in the second half in the manner that we did?
Yeah, but again, the ripple effect. Paul Lewis, he has to be brought off virtually on the stroke of half time. There's not much more we could have done about it. He needed to go out and give it an opportunity or give it a goal, and it wasn't right. And we're concerned, obviously, with him not being, able to, compete in the second half. So it is difficult, but the manner in which we scored the first goal, and nobody will see it, they'll just see the ball at the back of the net, but there was two or three phases to the way that they scored that goal that we should have done better with, and that's the real disappointment, that we've got to sense danger better.
The goal by Kieran Morris, it was an excellent strike, just a bit too late, wasn't it, in the end?
Yeah, and the opposition, they're going to do that. They're going to run down the court. They're down to 10 men. They're going to try and nick a goal on the counter-attack again. And they did do. The penalty is the worst-case scenario that we should have been, dealing with when the opposition's down to 10 men. It's 1-0 to them. We should have kept them camped in, and we should have given them an opportunity. But Joel Murphy's not really at fault. The phase before that, we didn't deal with it. A simple defensive decision wasn't dealt with, and as a result, we end up conceding the penalty. And then it's a real mountain to climb with the opposition camped in. We're making changes to try and give ourselves opportunities to create, get crosses into the box. We're putting Peter Clark up front, and we're exposing ourselves even more, playing Kieran Morris at left back, because we want creativity, we want crosses into the box. But the opposition did exactly what you'd expect them to do with 10 men, which is basically defend their own penalty box.
You've been pleased with the last couple of performances, the 2 1-0 victories, and the first half it was positive signs. So was that disappointing? That second half just didn't materialise the way that we would have liked?
Very disappointing. Goals change games. Their goal should have been avoided, should have been stopped. There's different phases that I know occurred that I know that we should have done better with. Everybody will see the ball that's in the back of the net, and they'll be saying that nobody was marking him. They're correct, but there was 2 or 3 phases before that where we could have and should have dealt with better, that would have exposed us in that manner.
We now face Colchester United in the last game of the season, so it's an important week ahead now, and put this result in the past, learn from it, and move on.
Definitely learn about the players, and I'll probably learn more about the players this week, about the mentality going into this final game, and we've got to deal with the responsibility of what's happened today, and that's what we do know, that we will respond, and we'll be looking for the attitude, the application on the training pitch to drive us forward into the game against Colchester.
Thank you.
No worries.
We weren't able to seize the opportunity that was there today, but there's still that opportunity next week, isn't it? So it's about that next opportunity, Keith.
Well, yeah, life's full of opportunities, and it's what you make of them. You shouldn't become a victim of a defeat. You know, you've got to understand why, and once you understand why, you've got to move on, you've got to put it right, and you've got to try and make the most of the next opportunity, which is Colchester.
Yeah, and going into the final game of the season, I mean, it's great to have a season alive. There's lots of clubs in this division would love to be in the same situation of having something to play for.
Well, it is, and again, irrespective of today's results, we have to make sure we keep the boys up. You know, there's a lot of disappointment in that changing room, a lot of questions being asked amongst themselves, a lot of shouting. You know, but there's got to be clarity to the way that you think. You know, emotionally, we're all hurt. You know, because we came here today in really good spirits, in good training form, and good football form, where you consider that we won last week, and that's really upset me, and it's upset the players. I can see that, because there was a real opportunity here. Now we've got to move on to the next opportunity. We can't be too down. We've got to try and have as much fun as we can this week, but as much focus as we possibly can, and make sure that when we do step over that white line, there's real 100% concentration in doing the jobs that you need to do, especially without the ball, because if we'd done that today, we would have come away with at least a draw.
A point will be enough next week. How important is it to make sure it's a really positive attitude and you're going for that victory?
Well, if we go for the victory and we get what we want, which is a playoff place now, then it's a mini league, you know, but we have to take care of business. We can't look too far in front of ourselves. You know, tomorrow's Sunday, we've got to deal with Sunday and work through the course of the week, working hard on a group of players, with a group of players who've really done superbly well for me and for each other this season and for Tranmere. And there's got to be a focus and a commitment towards, you know, what we need to do, which is win the game next week.
And is it just that one game now? You don't have any thoughts about the playoff until you're in there?
No, we've got to focus on the opportunity, which is a 3-point opportunity against Colchester.
Paul Lewis going off there, I mean, just how serious is that?
We don't know, but we're really concerned, you know, in the manner that he went down and the manner that he couldn't put any weight through it. So to make a substitution as quick as we had to, you know, it was a real concern, and we're concerned now after the game.
Just one question about the first half, because there was an incident with Manny and the captain, wasn't it? Then the referee came over and asked the fourth official to note something down. Were you privy to what that was all about?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. We asked, but he wouldn't disclose.